In this video, we're going to discuss loot. So there's a couple different ways that you can do loot in Max. You could set it up in the loot table on the character themselves, or there's actually a specific behavior for NPC Item Drop, which will always drop a particular item. So we're going to do it both ways just to kind of compare and contrast and see the difference. But let's get started. Let me go ahead and shoot these zombies here. This guy's in a hurry. So he dropped a sawbat. He had a chance to do that. All these guys really dropped the same stuff. So see, so this guy dropped a sawbat, but he also dropped a machete. Pay attention to that. Handy in a second. Back off a little bit while I reload. Now this guy's our boss. Now he has a chance to drop the same stuff as everybody else, but as you can see, he dropped something special. I just wanted it to be obvious, so I picked something very obvious. See, but they all dropped sawbats, and one guy dropped a machete. So let me show you how that works. Now this could be any enemy, right? You could have like a wasteland monster if you have that DLC, and there's the same sort of setting. So we're not going to talk about the enemy behavior so much as the loot table at the bottom. So for whatever enemy behavior you're using, whether it's melee, whether it's zombie attack, character attack, what have you, the very, very bottom, there is a tick box right here. Player can take loot. And if you tick that box, then you get additional options. So here you're choosing what is the chance that this zombie is going to drop anything at all. And that's 100%. So all of them drop something. At the next one, loot object 1, 2, and 3, these are basically what can the character, the zombie, the enemy drop. So I selected some items, just some weapons that I had available to me. So we have the sawbat, the bike gear knuckles, which we didn't see drop, and then the machete. Now, it only has a 50% chance of dropping the sawbat, 25% chance for the other two. But don't be fooled. This is not, it's going to drop one of these three items and it's a 50% of this or 25% of that. It's really more of an and, not an or. So in other words, it has a 50% chance to drop the sawbat and another 25% chance to drop the bike gear knuckles and another 25% chance to drop the machete. And as we saw, the sawbat dropped and the machete dropped in that one instance. So I kind of got lucky there for that reason, but I wanted to kind of illustrate that it's not either or, it's and. You're giving it multiple chances to drop multiple items. So play around with these numbers because you don't want to overdrop loot and make it too abundant. And so if that's the case, maybe you make things just a little bit more rare. And then we had our boss zombie here at the end, Freddy. I call him Freddy because he's got that sweatshirt. And his loot table is really no different than anybody else's. He's a zombie. So all zombies drop sawbats and bike gears and machetes in the same general percentages. So in order to get that egg to drop, I really just, like I said, just wanted to pick something super obvious. What I did here is I found some debris and put that in there and added the NPC item drop behavior to it. Now it's important to note that this item is always active. So if we get really far away from this item, we still want it to behave and do its job. So its job is to ensure that that named enemy is always going to drop something no matter what. So make sure you tick always active, and then here you're just going to name the NPC that you want to drop that particular item and the name of the item that you want it to drop. Now that item needs to be a collectible object. So here I've got it up here on the roof and I've added it as a collectible object. So I've ticked this box here to make sure it's collectible. That adds it to our collectible settings database. So you tell it what's the name and all that. Make sure you do that part. And then for my sake, what I did is I chose to add a collect object behavior to it so that I could get that prompt text and collect the object if I wanted to. It was really more for illustration than anything. Now there is one more thing to note. I observed that if you were to add more than 9 items to this, so if I were to continue selecting items. On the 10th item, my software crashed. So I did report that as a bug. So it is being addressed. I don't know if that's my system or if that's anybody's system. So just be careful with that. Maybe just keep it, we're to a few items for right now. It's just a point in time. I'm sure it'll get addressed, but just be aware of that little issue. And in the meantime, if you really do just need a 10th item, you could use NPC Item Drop to make sure that drops. But that's it. That's the loot explained in Max. If you enjoyed the video or if you learned anything new, please be sure to click the like button down below. If you're new here, if you just haven't subscribed yet, we'd love to have you stick around. And lastly, if you'd like a notification for whenever new videos are posted, just click the bell icon and that'll let you know when a new video is ready. Thanks so much for watching all the way through. I always appreciate that, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Hey, don't forget there's a written guide for every behavior, including ones I haven't yet covered on this channel. And if you want to learn some more, why don't you check out this video next.